All right, welcome back to cycling in New Zealand. I'm going to take you through days, I guess it would be 16 to 19. Um, and basically, at day 15, I told the story about finally arriving in Karamea and just being completely exhausted. I want to talk a little bit about Karamea for a few minutes, mainly because in some respects it was definitely one of the highlights of the trip. It's a place that is called the end of the road because, well, basically as I explained last time, it is sort of the end of the road. And if you look on the map, it's on the west coast of the South Island, as far north as you can get before you sort of enter that national park, which of course has no vehicles. It's only hiking or bicycling, as we discussed last time. It's a small town, 300, 400. Tiny place, and definitely kind of an unusual and yet very interesting feel there. And it's kind of even a little difficult for me to explain it. It's a really, probably one way of understanding is it's very low stress, very few vehicles. There's not a whole lot going on. I think probably the main thing is like in a lot of these places in New Zealand, they do farming, whether it be dairy, sheep, or just simply cattle. So in the town, if you're wondering where to stay, and I'm going to actually post links to this at the bottom just so you can check it out, and because what I'm going to post to you has some kind of cool videos on Karamea, which I highly recommend looking at their YouTube video. It's called Rango Backpackers, and Rango means peace in Maori, and I may be saying that incorrectly, but hopefully not. And there's only one backpackers there. You first there's a small hotelish kind of thing, and a campsite. But the backpackers is this really cool place. And like I said, I want to post a link to it. Basically, it's part of a larger community that's doing stuff with permaculture, which is, I wish I knew permaculture better. It's some sort of sustainable development in regards to agriculture and things in that area, and it was all right. I think you paid. It's like you pay 3 nights and you get the 4th night free. It was kind of an interesting time because most of the people there were woofing. I don't know if I've discussed this, but woofing technically means working on organic farm. But what's happened in New Zealand, it's sort of like this situation where people are trading work for lodging. Okay, so one night there were 8 woofers there. So these are people that are staying there, usually for weeks or a month or two, and they're cleaning the rooms, cleaning, doing laundry, just doing the normal housekeeping stuff you would have in any sort of place of lodging. And they don't get paid, so they don't pay to stay there, but they don't get any salary, and they just do this basically work 2 hours a day for free lodging. And so there was one I was the only guest there, and then there are 8 other woofers, but super nice people. Just like anywhere in New Zealand, you're gonna meet a lot of people. I would say this, after coming out of the national park, Karamea was a great it's a great place to be. I spent a lot of time resting, reading books, and hopefully you've been looking at the pictures as I've been talking here, and you're seeing just kind of the feel of the place. And I confess I'm just terrible at this. A lot of times I didn't take pictures of the towns just because a lot of times the towns in New Zealand there's really nothing to show. It's like 2 roads with a few buildings sporadically located. So but you do see some really beautiful pictures here of the sea and of the beach, and some of the different farms. Towards the end here, let me see if I can explain this. There's a really old settlement in Karamea, and there is a cemetery up at the top. And I kind of climbed to this cemetery, and this is what it looks like. What it looks like up there. I didn't do a lot of physical activities, mainly because I was just resting. Like I said, I hurt my wrist, and I ended up not going to the doctor, and it seemed to be getting better. at the time, and it seems fine now. So that's the good news. But yeah, so I spent a lot of times really just resting, reading, and did some very easy activities. And this is probably the biggest one. I climbed a small hill-ish mountain for like about a 45-minute climb to get up there. And this is a pretty cool picture. It's like something called the Promised Land, which of course an allusion to the biblical narrative. But I never could actually figure out what it was exactly. Was it just someone's farm? Was it some sort of commune? I had no idea. And I tried to cycle. I did actually cycle down there, but I couldn't really find it or see what was going on. Anyways, so those are my 4 days in Karamia. Like I said, I'm going to post links to the Rango Backpackers where I stayed, and they have they made a really high quality production video. And actually, while I was there, they were making this. So these people were woofing. They're basically making the video for them so they could stay there for free. And really high quality production. It talks. It looks like Karamia and the park I had just been through in video form. So definitely check that out. Take a look at that in the About section of this video below. And yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do it. So we'll see you next time.